going to be something else. This is USA.
Martine, you were wonderful. You danced so brilliantly. I've never seen anything like it. I'm sure improved one's performance. I would have to ask my dance teacher. Dear, you didn't look frightened. You seemed very much in control. Really, I was so scared you have no idea. I cannot even tell you why. Well, Martine, we're all frightened one time or another. I'm sure it was just stage fright. And if it was me out there, I probably would have had a nervous breakdown. No, it has nothing to do with the audience or the dance or anything else that was happening here tonight.
Comment allez-vous, Monsieur Wells?
Ah, mon Dieu, quelle surprise. J'espère qu'il faut un autre velours.
Sorry, I've just about used up all the French that I know. With the exception of a few phrases which I wouldn't use in mixed company.
À quel honneur les parler, monsieur? Pourquoi me dites-vous ça? Mon nom n'est pas Wells?
Oh, you don't like me using the name Wells? Well, how about Crown?
Pardon?
Come on, Crown. Carlo Crown. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Why don't we start with taking that mask off? S'il vous plaît?
Il doit y avoir confusion, monsieur.
What's going on? Have you seen Gavin? Is he all right?
Yes, I have seen him. Oh, Martine, I might as well tell you. I've been staying with him the past few days, and he's not quite all right. He's hurt his leg.
Again?
Yeah, this time he was shot by a police officer. Nice, huh? Well, we have this one to chalk up to Gunther, too, though, because none of this would be happening if it wasn't for him.
But he needs help. Medical care,
No, he's had some sort of medical attention. Look, luckily, the wound wasn't that serious. He got fixed up somehow. But it was infected, and he was very feverish. And that's why he didn't turn himself into the police, Martine. That's the only reason.
Jody, why now? He doesn't go to the police. Why?
Because he's afraid. There's no time for explanation. He's been indicted for Gunther's murder. Martine, they really think that he shot him deliberately.
No one will believe that. Not after they hear the whole story. He's been foolish, Jody. You must tell him so.
I have. I begged him, I pleaded with him to give himself up. But now, I'm not even sure myself he should give himself up.
Jody, he's far more guilty by staying away. Don't you know that?
Martine, my own brother-in-law thinks that Gavin is lying. He was the one that did the autopsy on Gunther. Martine, the reason I'm here is to ask you for money. I know that's a terrible thing of me, but I don't know where else to turn.
Jody, are you saying to me that you want to run away with Gavin again?
You don't understand. You see, there's these people at a rooming house. They're blackmailing us. They want $300. Otherwise, they threaten to call the police on Gavin. Martine, will you please help me?
Oh, Jody, everything I own is for you.
Martine, can we come in?
God, it's Miles.
Shh, I'm sorry. I told them to come to see me backstage after rehearsal.
What are we going to do?
Hold on. The screen. Hide behind the screen.
Hold on.
Hello.
Are you sure it's all right? You must be absolutely exhausted.
No, I'm fine.
We're not going to stay more than a
Happy
minute.
to see
We
you.
just wanted to add our voices to the chorus singing your praises.
Oh, you were simply terrific. I can't think of a better word.
Thank you. Thank you very much, both of you. I know how sad you must have felt because Jody isn't on stage. I am very sorry.
No, actually, we think she did the right thing about the dance company, the courageous thing.
Yes, it was very difficult for her to make the decision not to appear, Martine.
Ah, yes, Jody has had to make very difficult decisions in her young life.
Far too many. And right now, we think she's made the wrong decision.
As we cannot figure out what's keeping her from coming home.
Well, Perhaps she's very much in love with Gavin.
Yes, well, sometimes when you're in love with someone, you got to make the tough decisions for them.
And she can't possibly be helping Gavin by encouraging him to run. I mean, every day that he's away makes his guilt seem greater.
Miles, wasn't there something about you, something that you said to the press about Gavin?
No, I never said anything to the press about Gavin. The only statement I made was to the police.
Yes, Miles was just doing his job. He performed the autopsy and reported the results.
Yes, but those results don't necessarily mean that Gavin is guilty. He would still have a chance if he came back, wouldn't he?
Well, of course he would have a chance. If he could just explain why he did it and what happened.
And tell the police why he lied in the first place.
Says here you're a dancer? Wrong. I tell other people how to dance. Oh, you mean you give lessons? Hey, well, you think you could teach me the mambo? Yeah, sorry, I didn't bring my castanet. Yeah, right. No, you need special shoes, right? How's that sharp order, Benny? He's a dance teacher, Mama. Did you know that? Oh, great. If his girlfriend doesn't show up with the money, we could take it out in tangos. Been a good 3 hours, lover boy. You think she ran out on you? She'll be back. You know something? I don't think she will. I think she ain't been too happy about this whole thing. You think I am? Well, if you ask me, I think she got home and she figured that this was all a big mistake. She didn't want to be hooked up with no fugitive of the law. You really know how to cheer up a guy, don't you? Hey, listen, babyface. I want to see your little girlfriend more than you do. I need my $300. Oh, you'll get it. If she can get her hands on it. Yeah, well, I'll give her 30 minutes. And after that, I gotta call the cops.
Chuck, this is Damian Tyler. Let me talk to the chief. Yeah, right away. Hello, Chief.
Tyler, I thought you were out watching them trip the Life Fantastic tonight.
Yeah, well, I decided to leave at intermission. I thought I might find something a lot more exciting at Skylar Whitney's house.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, that's where I'm calling you from. I'm at the Whitney Mansion. You know, the place where Mrs. Saxon got herself clobbered?
Are you saying that somebody's been injured at the Whitney house?
Yeah, me. Oh, it's okay. I'm all right. I just got a sharp jab to my ego. Hey, Chief, you know that story I told you about? The first time I saw Martine Duval dance was in Paris at that mansion that Sky Whitney rented on the right bank of the Seine. Well, while she was downstairs dancing, her husband was upstairs ripping people off.
Yeah, I remember you told me Whitney caught him and then let him go.
Right. Well, I think Mr. Whitney is going to regret his generosity.
Tyler, are you saying the Whitney Mansion has been robbed?
That's right, Chief. I'm afraid history is repeating itself, with a few minor variations.
Did you actually see Collier Wells?
Well, I saw a man in a black hood who was spouting French at me and who gave me a lesson in humility.
He got away, is that it?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
You can't really be sure that it was him, can you?
Look, Chief, take my word for it. Look, I think that this guy's been sitting around for months waiting for the perfect moment. And tonight was it, a reasonable facsimile to that night in Paris. And Chief, this guy's changed his name. It's now Carlo Crown.
The photographer?
That's right. I should have caught on to him right away, but he's playing a pretty shrewd game starting this relationship with Martine Duval right away.
Tyler, is this anything you think you can prove?
Well, no, I can't make 100% positive identification. The guy had a black hood on. But, Chief, I'm certain it was Collier Wells that tried to rip my head off tonight.
All right, look, stay there. I'm going to send out the B&E squad. You need any medical attention?
Look, I don't have time to wait around for those guys. I got something that I got to do right away.
What's that?
Well, I'm going to find Carlo Crown before he leaves town.
Now, wait, what about Martine Duval? If what you say is true, then they still may be together on this.
Look, I'm going to have to leave her for later. I think she's still at the theater.
Now, wait a minute. I'll go down to the theater and see her myself. If you need me, you can reach me there. If not, I'll talk to you when I get home.
All right, I'm going to leave here right away as soon as I find a bottle of aspirin.
Okay, so long.
Okay, Chief. Look, I know I don't have any right to say anything. I don't have any right to ask you any questions at all, but I'm compelled to ask you anyway.
What? Don't look so somber. It can't be that serious.
Oh, I know you haven't been married very long. How long's it been? 3 weeks?
Yeah. Why?
Well, I wonder. How do you feel about him now? I mean, how much do you think you really know about Skylar Whitney?
Why do you ask that? Do you know something about him that I don't?
Quite possibly I do. Well, I guess I better start thinking about Carlo Crown.
Thank you so much for asking me.
Hey, I should be the one thanking you. If you hadn't gone with me, I don't think I would have.
Why not?
Nah, I'm not much of a dance buff or whatever they call it.
You seem to be enjoying it.
I did. I just couldn't decide whether I enjoyed the dancing or the company more. Now, you're right. They were all terrific.
Especially Martine. She was exquisite.
Absolutely.
Oh, let's sit down. It's such a beautiful night.
Okay. Old Indian summer. Do you know it's my favorite time of the year?
Is it?
Actually, in time I can sit on a park bench next to a beautiful young lady is my favorite time of the year. Val, tell me something now. Is it my imagination, or are you preoccupied with something tonight?
I guess I was a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I never should have mentioned that article in the Monticello.
We made a pact, remember? No more talk of Jim Peterson.
They also mentioned the millions you were going to tackle.
Oh, Kelly. I don't believe I'm ever going to see those millions. Do you think that the law will believe that Daddy made that money honestly? No. They're not going to give it to his daughter. I have to worry about making a living just like everybody else. And actually, that's what I was thinking about tonight.
You mean your job?
Or a lack of one, maybe. Carlo asked me the other day or what I would do if he decided to leave Monticello.
Why would he do something like that?
I don't know. Maybe he just wants to relocate.
If he decided to move, would you relocate with him?
He's wonderful to work for, Kelly. And I've learned so much from him.
I got a better idea. Why don't you run the studio yourself?
Because I can't.
Sure you can. You're a fine photographer.
Well, thank you, but I have no business sense. To say nothing of capital.
I'm sure your credit is very sound in Monticello, thanks to the Monticello Star. What is it?
Oh, Kelly, I thought it was my imagination, but it isn't.
What?
Well, tonight, at the theater, there was a man across the street watching me during intermission.
Well, that's not surprising. Men are always staring at beautiful ladies.
No, but I saw him again when we started our walk here. Well, I didn't see him, but I saw the clothes he was wearing.
And you think you saw him again?
Well, I know I did. He was right there. He was watching me. Well, I tried.
Heard what I said to Miles and Nicole. I agree with them. The best thing for you would be to have Gavin change his mind and come back home.
Gavin, Martine, I'm going to have to change my mind.
What I don't understand, I thought everybody had left. They're all supposed to be at the opening party tonight. Hold on. Who is it?
Miss Duval, it's Police Chief Derek Mallory.
God, it's the chief of police. I am sorry, but I don't have any visitors tonight.
I'm afraid I really must see you, Miss Duval. I'm not here after an autograph.
Oh,
This is official business.
No, Mikey, I answering his line on the search machine. What do you think?
Miss Duval.
Okay, hold on. This on. Put this on. What is this? Well, Julia, I think we'll have plenty of time to chat at the party. Come on, darling, hurry up, you know. I have other things to do. All right. Okay, I'm coming, Chief. Ridiculous. Ciao, darling. See you later. Bye-bye. Here you go.
This won't take very long, I'm sure, Miss Duval.
All right, Chief Mallory. What can I do for you? This isn't a really good night for official visit.
No, I realize that. I do apologize for my poor sense of timing. And I understand you had quite a triumph tonight.
Thank you very much. It's very nice of you to say. But I think you're not here for an autograph. What do you want?
I'm here to ask about a friend of yours. Carlo Crown? Have you seen him recently?
Yes, of course. In fact, yes, I saw him a little while ago in the audience.
Couldn't you be mistaken?
Oh, no, I'm quite sure he was there. Why would he want to miss my opening?
I know the lights on stage are very bright. It couldn't be easy to see faces out in the audience, could it?
Why are you asking me this?
Because I'm wondering if he couldn't have been somewhere else tonight. Maybe at the Whitney Mansion, perhaps.
Why on earth would he be there?
Well, certainly not to take photographs.
I really don't understand what you are getting at, Chief Mallory.
Well, then I will get to the point. Isn't your photographer friend, Carlo Crown, really your husband, Collier Wells?
Oh, are you mad, my friend? This is the most incredible thing I ever heard in my whole life.
Then you deny it?
I haven't seen my husband. Yes!
Absolutely. I will send her your love.
Well, Mr. Crown, if it isn't the very man I'd like to meet, I'm Police Chief Derek Mallory.
How do you do, Chief? Were you as thrilled tonight as I was?
I didn't have a chance to see tonight's performance. That's a very pretty rose. Did you pick that from somebody's garden?
It's illegal to pick things from other people's gardens, Detective. As a law-abiding citizen, I'm very well aware of that. This is for you, my lovely. You were beautiful.
Excuse me, you two. I wonder if I could ask you a question.
Well, Chief, I think I told
Excuse me. Miss Duval, excuse me. Mr. Crown, where have you been this evening?
I was in the audience being hypnotized.
You were there the whole evening?
Well, until intermission, at which time I was right here.
Yes, he was right here.
And your little sweet patootie ain't here. I told you she wasn't coming back.
She's having a hard time finding the money. For Pete's sake, it's the middle of the night.
Sure. I know the banks are closed.
That's right. You know, it's kind of hard to make a withdrawal.
Well, you know, they got those little cash machines now. All you gotta do is slip in a little card.
Doesn't mean Jody.
Well, look, that's it. Nothing else to do but call the cops. Well, what do you know? The Marines have landed.
Jody.
I'm sorry I took so long.
It's all right. I was hoping Mama was right and you'd come to your senses and decide not to come back.
Gavin, I couldn't leave you here with them.
Hey, be careful who you're calling them. Did you get the money?
All I could get was $225. I'm sorry, that's all I could manage.
Yeah, I should have known you were going to shave the price a little. Hand it over. Well, I'm just a good-hearted soul. It's been my downfall all my life. Hey, listen, Kitty. I hope that you're not going to feel too bad about me. I mean, I'd really like to help you two. In fact, if you could raise a few more bucks, I got a plan that could really get you out of this jam you're in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How?
Ask Benny. He works on the docks. He knows some people who could get you onto one of those South American freighters. Easy as rolling off logs.
Or off a dock.
Huh. That's pretty funny, honey. But I mean it. Right, Benny?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got lots of friends.
It'll only cost you $1,000 to get you on one of those boats. What do you say? You can always come back when the heat's off.
Gavin, don't even listen to this woman.
It's better than going to jail, honey. Those cons are going to cut you up and eat you in 3 big bites. Right, Benny?
I'm hungry, Mama. Maybe it's not such a bad idea. It sure beats hard in the running from place to place.
Gavin, you can't be serious. You aren't thinking about doing
I've
this.
been thinking about it for the last 3 hours, and the more I think about it, the more sense it makes. You know, $1,000 covers everything, right?
All you gotta do is raise that money.
All right, I'll do it.
No. We'll raise 2,000.
Welcome to an open house celebration of Home Magazine.
Home of Broadway. This theater is known as Madison Square Garden. And it's Basketball 85, premiering with the inaugural year of the Big Apple Classic. From across the country, some of this year's shining stars converge on New York for the preseason tournament. The semifinals at 7 Eastern tomorrow. The finals at 9 Eastern Sunday. All live, all here on USA.
This is the USA Network.
It was a night to remember. Yes, it was a night to remember.
Congratulations, my lovely you. Sensation. Absolutely. Sacco Baffo.
What does that mean, Sacco Baffo?
Sacco Baffo is a slang show business term for a hit, a triumph, and a smash. Aren't you pleased?
I am only pleased not to find you Sacco Baffo in front page. I was expecting to see your name in headline this morning.
Don't worry, my love. There's not a single word there about the Whitney robbery. Obviously, Schuyler's decided to keep the whole thing under wraps. It's very discreet, if I might say.
I don't care about this discretion. All I want to know is what was going on there last night. I was half crazy of worried.
I'm sorry, my love. I wanted this to be a day of celebration. Your performance last night was absolutely outstanding, both on stage and in the dressing room. How beautifully, how convincingly you lied for me in front of Chief Mallory. You are delicious.
You wouldn't be so smug if you knew what Chief Mallory told me last night.
What did he tell you?
Damien Tyler was there in the Whitney house, and he came close, very close to finding you.
No. He might have come close to catching Collier Wells, but he has no proof that Carlo Crown possesses these. Most of these trinkets belong to Mrs. Whitney. However, 1 or 2 belong to Schuyler. For instance, this little antique watch. Listen. It's a charming little melody, isn't it?
Hello? Martine? This is Jody. Yes, it's Martine Duval. Martine, now I know this is a lot to ask, but I need your help. Please, I'm desperate. Martine, I need $2,000. Well, what is the reason, huh? The reason is because Gavin and I are leaving the country.
to continue our conversation at the moment. I have a guest. Oh, all right, I see it. I understand. No, I'm sorry. I don't receive any more visitors tonight, and I don't accept interviews here, but perhaps we could meet another time soon.
You mean today? Now? When?
That's a very good time, yes?
Okay, where, Martine? Where can I meet you?
I would say the theater. That's very good. There would be no rehearsal, and there would be no trouble at all.
Okay, then I'll meet you at the theater. Martine, thank you very much. Are you sure you're going to be able to arrange everything?
Yes, my dear. I will take care of everything, and thank you very much for calling me. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Yeah, no way.
Oh. All right. Martine said that she'll do it, and she's going to meet me at the theater. She couldn't talk anymore because there was somebody else in the room.
We don't need all that money, Jody. $1,000 is enough to get me out of the country alone.
Well, Gavin, you're not going alone. Now understand that, okay?
You can't just leave everything behind. You've got a family to consider. Nicole, Miles, Adam. No, Jody, please. Go home while you still can. Oh, I'm going to be trouble, Jody. Nothing but trouble from now on.
If you leave alone, Gavin Wiley, there's nothing here for me. I love my family very, very much. But without you, I'd be lost. Don't you understand that?
You're the toughest kid on the block.
Don't you forget it.
Will you look at that? You two hugging there make a real picture, a real Valentine.
Yeah, they're real cute.
Oh, who asked you?
Nobody.
Well, so shut up. Look, I hate to break this up, but what's happening? You able to raise that money all right?
Well,
You know, I hate to be pushy and everything, but time is growing short. Benny here's got to make arrangements to book your passage on the boat. He's got to do it today when he goes to work, right, Benny?
Yep, that's right. There's this guy I know down the dock where I work, right? And see, I got to contact him first, and then when...
Hey, who asked you?
You did.
Oh.
Well, shut up anyway.
Don't worry about it, Mrs. Arnold. I'll have the money. I'll be ready when you make the arrangements.
Correction. We'll be ready.
Just what the hell kind of a town is this anyway? This is the...
Burglarized. We've only lived here for 2 months.
Mr. Whitney, the first time was attempted burglary.
In which a man lost his life.
Yeah, well, that's very unfortunate, but this time I got cleaned out.
Is Mrs. Whitney home right now?
Yes, she is, but I don't want her bothered with a lot of questions. I mean, I want you to know that we're both furious about this. My wife is upstairs in bed right now. She's practically a nervous wreck over the fact that we've had burglars here twice in just the last few weeks. She's lost practically every piece of jewelry she
All right, Mr. Whitney, we understand that you're upset about
Oh, upset? Oh, yeah, you may very well say that, Detective. Upset? You may also add angry and furious. And just where was anyone at all from your fine department? How come no one answered the burglar alarm? You want to tell me that?
We checked out your security system with Fillmore Security. They say the alarm came through, but when they called your house, somebody gave the correct identification number.
No, that's impossible. The only people who know the secret code are the people who belong in this household, and none of us were here last night.
Well, we will have to check it out. But since there is a possibility that somebody here may have been careless with that number, I think it's a bit too soon to start placing the blame on anybody.
Well, I hope you don't mind if I do place the blame on someone, Chief, like your Detective Tyler here. I understand that you were here last night, Detective, and you let the man get away.
Look, I understand why you're upset. But let me remind you that Detective Tyler was the one who figured out what was going on here. He put himself on the line while you and your household were out reveling in the opening of your theater.
Oh, well, excuse me for being out reveling at the opening of my own theater. But what do you expect me to do, Chief? Mount a 24-hour guard with a gun in my hands? Behind an arsenal with locks and chains? I've done that already once. From now on, it is your job and your responsibility.
Hey, wait a minute. Look, I'm not going to try to defend the way I took care of that situation last night. I was careless and I let a burglar escape. But that just happens sometimes, Mr. Whitney.
Yeah, frequently in your case, I've got no doubt.
Mr. Whitney, when your house was broken into last night, it was not a chance event by some unknown intruder.
What are you talking about?
Well, you went to watch Martine Duval dance last night and your house was broken into. That's a repeat performance of what happened in your house 2 years ago in Paris. And I'm convinced that the crime was committed by the same man, Mr. Whitney. Collier Wells.
Hey, little boy, what do you think of the idea? Hmm? don't be shy. You just say it right out. How'd you like me to come and live with you and your dad and Mom, huh?
Well, I think I can speak for all three of us, Mrs. Goodman. We're delighted to have you back in the family circle.
I'll second that.
Well, seems like Adam is keeping his opinion to himself.
I can assure you, Miss Goodman, that little fellow over there would like nothing better.
Well, I can tell you one thing. My daughter-in-law likes the idea just fine.
We're happy you've changed your mind about living with them, because that makes us the winners.
I don't know. I thought it was the right thing at the time. It just seemed sensible, being with your own flesh and blood. But then things began to wear thin, and I don't know, my daughter-in-law has her own way of doing things. You know how it is.
Oh, yes, of course.
I sit around that nice house and ask myself, is this my home? You know, I mean a real put-your-feet-up home. Or really, just my son's charity case. Finally, my independence was on the line, and I still have a lot of that left. So I figured I should be someplace where I'm needed, where I can contribute something and be happy doing it.
Well, you called the right number.
You can contribute to the Kavanaugh clan as long as you like. You are always welcome.
Now, all I have to do is get used to heights. Every time I'm in a high place, I just get this feeling that somebody is saying to me, jump. Isn't that awful?
It's not that uncommon, Mrs. Goodman. It's called aquaphobia.
Oh, well, if there's anything I'm afraid of, it's a phobia.
Excuse me, Mrs. Kavanaugh, but when do you plan to go to the studio?
Oh, I'll be going just a little bit later, as soon as Adam is fed.
Oh, I'll take care of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You two haven't met, have you? Mrs. Goodman, this is Nora Fulton, Nicole's new secretary.
Hi, Nora. How do you do? Well, just fine now that I'm back with the Kavanaughs, thank you.
Well, how about some food, little fellow?
Oh, I'll do that. He's been a little cranky this morning. I better do it before I go.
I'll help you, all right? I've got a few minutes before the office. Come on.
Kiddo, come
Kiddo, let's go. Want some cereal?
For supper. Hi.
You were with the Kavanaughs before, I take it.
Yes, their housekeeper and general factotum.
I'm so glad to be back. They're really terrific people, you know.
Yes, I can see that.
So, you're Mrs. Kavanaugh's new secretary, eh?
Yes.
And general factotum. I'm real glad you're going to be with her now. She really needs somebody to help take the load off.
I intend to be a help. In fact, I intend to relieve her of a great many burdens.
You be good to her, you hear? Or you'll have me to tangle with.
I can see that, Mrs. Goodman.
Well, I guess I'd better settle in and get unpacked. I'll see you later, Nora.
Yes, of course.
Especially working for the Monticello Star. But let me tell you something. There is no truth to the story that there was a burglary here last night when we were at the opening. Now, listen, I don't know where that rumor got started, but when I got home, all I found was a broken window pane. It was obviously caused by vandals. Let me just give you a piece of advice that's going to help you quite a bit in your future life. Don't ever bother me again. That's another one of these damn reporters. Yes.
Spencer Barney, Mr. Whitney?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got a lot on my mind. Come on in.
If this is a bad time, maybe I should come back later?
No, but I have been thinking about other things. I just about forgot of our appointment. Here, sit down, why don't you?
Thank you, sir.
Say, how did you, know that there was an opening in my staff?
Oh, it was an obvious thing. The possibility occurred when I read about the unfortunate death of Mr.
Wagner.
Yes. I just assumed you might need a replacement, someone to drive for you and to perform whatever other duties might be necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you don't think I'm an opportunist, Mr. Whitney, but when a door opens, walk in. That's my feeling.
That's mine as well. I imagine you've got references?
Oh, yes.
Let's see. St. Louis, Cleveland, Detroit. Well, obviously these men think quite highly of your abilities.
Well, I like to think so.
How do you feel about the idea of living in? If you did take the job, you would have to live here, you know.
Well, that wouldn't be a hardship. I could never attain this luxury on my own. I don't fool myself about that, but by being a loyal employee, I'd be able to enjoy it just the same.
Tell me, what do you think are your major assets? What would equip you most to do this job?
I'd say discretion, sir. I mind my own business. I don't say much. I keep my opinion to myself. And I keep my business life and my private life separated.
That's good to hear. Very good indeed. Hey, here's something interesting.
What's that, sir?
Well, two of these individuals who've recommended you so highly, well, they're very well known in the business community. As a matter of fact, I was just reading about them in the paper. It seems that they're under investigation for some rather questionable business practices. Is it just a coincidence?
Well, I'm sure I don't have to tell you what sometimes makes the business world go round, Mr. Whitney. Some wealthy businessmen just take more chances than others.
I'm sure you're going to work out just fine, Mr. Varney.
Call me Spencer, sir.
Brahms? Mozart? Tchaikovsky, maybe? Can't place that melody. But I am charmed by it, aren't you?
You seem so very pleased with yourself.
Don't you think I have reason?
You have exactly what you wanted. You have satisfied your obsession of revenge with Keller Whitney. What about your promise?
I haven't forgotten my promise, my darling. I have what I want. Now you get what you want. I promised you that if you helped me, I'd give you that divorce you crave so desperately.
You keep a promise.
I mean it. I will live up to that promise. You can expect no opposition from me. Just file the papers. If that's what you want, I will sign them, and I will be disappearing from your life from that day on.
Are you serious?
You know when I'm serious and when I'm not? I owe you, Martine Duval. So I will just leave your life. I'm sure that'll make you very happy, won't it?
I can't waste any more time.
You didn't answer me, Martine. Assuming too much too soon.
No, go right ahead, Spencer. Consider yourself hired.
The Whitney residence? May I ask who's calling, please? One moment. It's a gentleman, Mr. Whitney. He says it's important.
Yes?
Hello, Mr. Whitney. This is Collier Wells.
Crazy for you and me.
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
I promise you, someday I will get all of this back to you.
It's all right, Judy. I don't care for money. All I want is that everything is sane and decent again. That's all I want.
Martine, what is it? What's happened to you? Is it me and what I'm doing? Is that what's gotten you this upset, huh? Is it my fault?
It's nothing to do with you. It's me. It's my fault. It's my stupidity for being in love with someone I should not.
Martine, I don't understand. I don't know what you're talking about.
Collier Wells is here.
What? You mean Collier Wells, your husband? Collier Wells?
He's in Monticello. Oh, Judy, I have to tell someone.
What?
He robbed Scarlett Whitney's house last night again. You must not tell anyone what I'm telling you right now, okay? I mean, the police is after him. They have not proof, not evidence, but I knew it, and I didn't do a thing about it.
So that's why you were so upset and afraid the other night, right?
Yes. And this morning he came to me, and like a child, he showed me what he had stolen. All Raven Whitney's jewelry, and even Sky antique pocket watch. Oh, God.
His watch?
Yes.
Martine, do you happen to know, does Skylar Whitney have 2 antique pocket watches?
What?
2 of them. Does he have 2 of them?
Well, I don't know. This one has Sky's initial on it. Probably a wedding present or something. I don't know.
But I don't understand. Gunther had that watch, Martine.
Gunther?
Yes, he said that Sky gave it to him as a reward for his loyalty.
Don't you mistake him?
No, I'm not making a mistake. Gunther showed it to me. Let's see, it's got Sky's initials. His initials are SGW, and it plays a little tune, right? How does the tune go? Da-dum, 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 da-da-da-da. That's the tune, right?
Yes, that's exactly it. Yes, Judy. That's the same watch that Collier Wells stole last night.
But how?
Well, I don't know. Perhaps Sky had taken it back after Gunther's death or something. I don't know.
I don't understand this, Martina. What in the name of God does this all mean?